What's going on, guys? Super Savage 789 here, bringing you guys in a video. And today we're doing What If Broly Was Sent to Earth, Part 3. Now, if you need a quick summary, Broly was sent to Earth instead of Vampa, and Paragus was told that Broly was sent to Vampa, where, of course, led to his own demise. Then, on Earth, Grandpa Gohan found Broly, but unfortunately died by the young boys of Zaru hands. So, Kami removed his tail, seeing him as a threat because of his huge power. After meeting Bulma and going on the adventure, he also meets Rasoroshi, meets Krillin, who hates him, and then beats the Red Ribbon Army. Now, it's been 3 years, and everyone's so excited to see Broly. Like normal, everyone is curious where Broly is, except for Krillin. Krillin hates Broly for his power. He showed off too much. He's just too strong, but now he'll beat him. He has the way to do it. This time, he'll win. Broly's not the strongest this time. Then, Broly flies in out of nowhere and just lands in front of them, almost instantaneously. They're all shocked as they greet Broly. After giving Broly some clothes made by King Baller, he signs up his name to the tournament. Then, about the same thing goes as normal with the Crane School. Broly's a bit more passive towards them, and so they all just kind of mock Broly a bit. Just kind of gets him angry, but he doesn't really care. Then the tournament arrives. All the fights go the same as normal, Broly kind of just breathing and pushing Pampa out, and Krillin fighting Chaozu a bit more recklessly, trying to get a bit more of a sort of flashy exit to the fight. He's trying to beat Chaozu in the best way he can, by using the littlest energy. He's trying to beat him as fast as he can so he can get to Broly. This, of course, makes it so he takes a tiny bit more damage than usual, but he still wins. Then, after Jackie Chun and Tien's fight, the fight that everyone's been waiting for happens. Broly and Krillin both step onto the arena, quite stoic, none of them talking to each other. They both step on either side, as the announcer raises his hand. Alright, the winner of the first tournament, Broly, against the semi-finalist Krillin. This should be an interesting match. Begin. The two of them rush at each other, with Broly easily getting punches in on Krillin. Krillin gets a couple punches in, but they don't really do anything. Krillin knows he can't beat Broly in raw power, and so he decides maybe techniques are the best way he can do it. He jumps back and places a hand over his head. Kienzon! Husing! He throws a disc at Broly, which Broly slices in half with a punch. Because Broly's sheer strength, he punched the disc so hard. His fist was stronger than his slicing mechanism. This shocks Krillin. That technique was meant to be perfect. As Broly rushes at him and knees him in the guts. Krillin falls to the floor, gasping. He stands up and just yells, Kamehameha. Broly just raises a hand and walks through it, like a god. Krillin is left without any energy left. He stares at Broly, upset and angry. Why can't I beat you? He moans, as he just stares at Broly, eyes of thunder. Broly can see the pain in Krillin's eyes, but he doesn't care. He just wants to win. He doesn't like Krillin. Krillin was mean to him. Why should he care? He kicks Krillin in the ribs and just flings him out of the arena. He hits the back of the wall and falls onto the grass. Ring out! Then, the final matchup occurs. Broly steps on the arena with Tien. The two of them assume battle stands, with Tien being a lot more on edge. He's seen Broly's power and knows that this can't be the maximum of it. He'll have to defeat him from the start. As soon as the announcer yells begin, Tien flies into the air and just does a Kiko Ho. Roshi comments that this is cruel for Shen to teach a student such a technique, but Broly doesn't have time to dodge this move. He flies through the attack, taking some damage, but not a lot. Tien is gasping as he uses a Dodon Ray at Broly. Broly, of course, dodges it, and then punches Tien in the face. Tien falls to the ground in shock and in pain. He stands up and uses a Taiyo-Ken, but Broly gets the sunglasses off Roshi. He then proceeds to raise his hand up and blasts Tien. Tien goes flying out of the arena, hitting the bus as normal, but Broly doesn't go over there. And so, Broly is declared the winner of the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai. Of course, being a Saiyan, Broly spends all his money on eating food, which everyone else is treated to, even Krillin. Broly feels a little bit bad for beating him up the way he did, but he still doesn't care. Then he remembers he left his Noibo and 4-star ball, and Bulma says that she'll go get it for him, Bulma goes out and sees something. She lets out a shriek, and before Broly can get there, her dead body lays on the ground. No, this can't be happening, no. Last time someone died to him was Grandpa Gohan. He can't remember that. This is Bulma. He's known her essentially all the life he's had. This can't be happening, no. Broly lets out a huge scream in rage as his hair slowly starts to float. His eyes start to glimmer as his muscles bulk. Everyone's afraid about what's about to happen. Broly's eyes turn yellow, and his hair floats but remains black. He lets out a scream in his Master Ozaru state, made by King Baller. He flies out of the roof and rushes towards the nearest power level. Within milliseconds, he catches up to Tambourine, grabbing him by the face and crushing his skull. Broly wakes up hours later in a bit of a forest, but it's all decimated. He sees trees laying over and over onto someone. Yajirobe lays there dead, with Symbol next to him. Broly doesn't remember anything. He just sees fire. This is exactly what happened last time, he thinks. Then King Piccolo arrives. You must have destroyed my children. Very well then, I'll have to deal with you myself. He raises his hand and tries to use telekinesis on Broly, but that doesn't work. Broly's just barely paying attention to him. Hey, don't ignore the Demon King, King Piccolo says angrily, throwing a bunch of rubble at him, but Broly just walks through it. He's still not caring, he's not even looking at him. He goes up to Yajirobe and sees the one-star ball, just taking it off him. Now he has 2 Dragon Balls in his possession, and this should be useful to revive Bulma. Don't ignore me, or I'll blast you and destroy your planet, King Piccolo says, but Broly just rushes at him and gut punches him. King Piccolo falls to the floor, unconscious. Broly still doesn't care about him and just throws him away. That was pretty easy, he thinks. Using the Dragon Radar, they manage to locate where Broly was, and they find that he is with King Piccolo. Roshi tells Broly not to kill him and just raises out his hands and starts using Mafuba. Because Broly extremely damaged King Piccolo, it's much easier for Roshi to steal him than Mafuba, which he does. And so, no Piccolo Jr. Then, Broly gets a voice in his head. Hello, Broly. My name is Kami. I suggest you come to my location. You know where I am. Broly is confused, and he shuts his eyes, sensing out the energy. He doesn't really want to go, but suggestions from Roshi, who explains who Kami is to him, says that's probably the best idea to go there. Broly flies off to Kami's lookout. Krillin also wants to go, but he decides that if Broly's going, it'll just be a lot harder for him to train there. Broly goes to Kami's tower, landing there in seconds with ease. He sees Mr. Popo and Kami stood there, and asks them what they want. Kami tells Broly that power that he awakened, does he remember anything when he used it? And Broly says no. It just kind of felt like a rampage, like something he can't control. This is what worried Kami all those years back. Something he can't control and something that Kami can't beat. This is scary. Alright then, Broly, we shall teach you how to control this form. If you have not learned it in 3 years, our world will be doomed. Broly asks, why will it be doomed? Well, you see, if you ever are angry again, or someone you love dies, we don't know if you'll be able to contain you. So, Kami brings Broly under his wing and trains him. Not Mr. Popo, but Kami. Kami even lets Broly go in the hyperbolic time chamber to use the form freely, not having to worry about any casualties. Meanwhile, on Earth, everyone has revived everyone killed by Piccolo and his men, which includes Bulma. Bulma is happy to be alive again, and asks what happened since she was gone. Then she says that she'll be happy to see her friend Broly in 3 years. Yamcha looks over to Krillin and asks what's he going to do now. Krillin thinks about it, and says that he can't keep training under Roshi. He must go under his own path now. He'll get stronger than Broly in 3 years, he'll guarantee it. If that Kienzon wouldn't do it, then he'll have to learn through raw power. But anyways, guys, that's what I'm going to leave you here. Make sure you like and subscribe, and comment down below what you think will happen in the next episode. Let's shoot for 20 likes on this. Sounds good, guys. Anyway, bye!